Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Behind the Bus. I'm your host, Angus, and I'm here with a wonderful band that has just performed for us, Audiobox. Hello, guys. How are you going today?
Thanks for having us. We're very privileged to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. It's an opportunity for me as well. Now, I'm just going to quickly go around the band first and foremost, get you guys to introduce yourselves and what you do.
I'm Zach Knight. I play rhythm guitar and I sing.
I'm Zach Cobham. I play the drums.
I'm Marshall Young and I'm lead guitarist.
It's quite comforting to hear that there's two Zachs and one non-Zach in the band, so it's not just a Zach band. Would you guys have gone with like a name similar to that, like a Zach band, if it was all Zachs?
Oh, it would have been tempting. It may be a little bit cringy. I don't know. We thought about it because originally it was just us two in the band. And so Marshall came later, so we're like, oh, should we do something with Zach's? But we set it on Audiobox.
So how did you go around like meeting up and forming the band?
Well, I went to primary school with Cobbo. And then we played cricket, and then I didn't see him for a few years, and played cricket a couple of years ago. Found out he played drums, and I just started playing guitar and singing, so I'm just like, hey, do you want to be in a band? And like, yeah. And then he knew Marshall. I didn't know Marshall. He said, this is kick-ass guitarist, you should come jam with us. I'm like, all right, and he did a jam session with us, and been with us ever since.
So when was the first time you actually properly played together? I'll go to the other Zach.
It was about, 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
It seems like not that long ago, but it's been a while. We formed the band, 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Played with Marshall first time 2 years ago, but I knew Marshall heaps before. Yeah.
And Marshall, when was the first kind of proper gig you guys played together?
Not that long ago, actually. We were going to do more last year, but then COVID happened, so that didn't really turn out. We're going to do Goats Festival. But the first gig we did was this year, only like 4 weeks ago, up in Marrickville at the Gasoline Pony, which was really solid. It was a great time. It was it was Cobbo, it was your first time performing in front of them?
First time performing, if not at a school function. Yeah, so in public.
Yeah, it was me as well. That was the first time not a school function performing. You're the only one who had.
Experienced.
So you're the most experienced performer in the group then?
Yeah, so this is not my first band. I used to be in a band called Or Heck, which was a cover band. I was actually the front man of that band, and I played bass. I actually did MetroFest 2 years ago with that band, which was really good, but I ended up leaving them just because it wasn't going the place where I wanted to go, and these guys are a lot more in line with what I want to do. So.
Yeah, very cool. It's good to see familiar faces at MetroFest, that's for sure. Now, who would you say has kind of inspired your style of music that you play?
Well, I can definitely speak for me and Cobbo. Marshall's music tastes a bit out there, but we love, obviously Nirvana was like the sort of first stuff we started playing together, and a lot of that sort of grunt stuff. Stuff like Royal Blood, even sort of newer stuff like that. Local bands like Polish Club, DZ Death Rays, that sort of Australian vibe. Even stuff like The Boys and more. Yeah, stuff like that we always get inspired by. We try to go to a lot of shows, at least before COVID, and so we try to get influence and stuff like that. Queens of the Stone Age, Soundgarden, it's classic rock sort of stuff. Grinspoon, yeah.
Just classic kind of Aussie alternative, kind of grungy style rock.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And any plans for the future? Any future gigs in line?
Next week we're going to Grove Studios. To record with a mate of mine, Jack Lovell, who's doing a course there, so he set that up, so 6 hours for free. We're doing a song because we recently released an EP with so that's out on Spotify and all streaming platforms. That's ready to go, and we should have another song coming up about late April. Should be, so not too long because we're recording it on Tuesday.
Yeah. And drummer Zach, can you tell us a bit about the EP you've recorded?
So we've had quite a few songs in the bank before recording the EP, but we settled on our best 5. Recorded them, that was over the span of 2 or 3 days. And then, it was our first time releasing stuff on Spotify and all them streaming platforms, so that was a bit of an experience, but now that's out there and it's really easy to just say, go listen to our stuff, here it is, it's really accessible, and it feels good to have something out there that you're proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. And now before we wrap up, this might be a tough question to answer because it's like choosing your favourite child, but I'll go around to each one of you and I'll get from each of you what is your favourite song to perform live. I'll start with Marshall.
You actually might not be that mixed as you think. I'm going to say Running in the Dark.
Yeah, Running in the Dark, the last song we played. Yeah.
Our recent song, My Fight, is very fun to play, but I'm also going to have to say Running in the Dark. It's a great song.
There we go.
Yeah, pretty unanimous, I got to say. Now, one last question before we wrap up. If you had any advice to young kids like you guys, well, back when you formed the band, young kids like you guys who wanted to get into music and get into playing gigs together, what would it be? I'll go to each of you again, starting with Marshall.
Just keep at it and never stop. It's the type of thing and the type of industry where you just need to keep trying and keep going into it, and eventually you'll find your way.
Yeah, very nice.
My advice would be to write songs. Like, that's sort of what I do, and it's just like the amount of songs I've written that we just didn't end up playing, but just keep writing and getting better, and trust yourself that good songs will come. And then when you do have a good batch of songs, play live, play in front of people, let people hear your music, and just build it that way.
I would say that no matter what equipment you have, you can always be a great musician with nothing, essentially. Like, it's all just practice, and if it's what you love, then you're going to go through with it and you're going to get good at it.
That's very sound advice, I would say, to all the young performers out there. Thanks again, guys, for performing at MetroFest today. I hope you have a great time, and thanks very much for joining us, Zach and Marshall of Audiobox.